It was the dream of a generation. The Ford Capri in the 70s. It did not just take you from A to B, it made sure you arrived with style. It had sharp lines, a fastback design, and just enough attitude to stand out from the crowd. Inspired by American muscle but built in Cologne, the Capri was Ford's answer for people who could not afford a Mustang but still wanted to feel the thrill of driving something special. People fell in love with it, and many still do today. One of them is Svenja Martin from Oberfranken. 7 years ago, she found her dream, a 2-liter Capri. It was rusty, worn out, and falling apart, but she did not care. She saw potential where others saw a wreck. Most people did not understand. They laughed, called her crazy, and said she was throwing her savings away. Many told her to sell it before it ruined her financially. Svenja refused. Then she met Reinhold, a man who had owned more than 70 Capri in his life. He understood exactly what she felt. When he inspected the car, he saw the truth. Rust in every corner, bent panels, and a body that had been patched up many times. Most people would have walked away. Reinhold did not. He offered to help restore it not for money or recognition, but because he knew what the Capri meant to people who truly loved it. For the next 2 years, he worked on that car, investing over 2,000 hours of grinding, welding, and rebuilding it from the ground up. He put his time and his passion into every step of the restoration. When the car was finally ready, they brought it to a Capri gathering in Sachsen. The same people who once mocked her could not believe their eyes. Some did not even recognize the car and thought she had bought a new one. Svenja had to show before and after pictures to prove it was the same vehicle. The highlight of the event came when she won Best Capri on the field. She did not expect it and was overwhelmed with emotion. Reinhold was too. At that moment, the Capri was no longer just a car. It represented dedication, transformation, and the connection between two people who refused to give up on something others considered worthless. But Svenja's story is only one example. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Now, let's get back to it. In Gelsen, an old industrial site has become a home for Capri enthusiasts. Inside those worn-down walls is a club that is part workshop and part community space. Every week, members gather to work on their cars. Some need small repairs. Others have not run in years. But it is not only about fixing cars, it is about preserving a piece of automotive history. Dirk and Andreas bought their white Mimehead 1 Capri more than 2 decades ago. At the time, it produced only 55 horsepower, barely more than a bicycle. But they did not care. They paid 500 Deutschmark for it, less than the price of a set of tires. It was originally meant to be a parts donor, but because it was untouched, original, and complete, they decided to keep it. In earlier years, clubs like this formed out of necessity. The Capri was inexpensive, but repairs were not. So, owners worked together. One person specialized in electrics, another in carburetors, and another in bodywork. Everyone contributed. That tradition continues today. Another member, Arthur, found a Capri that had been abandoned for 20 years. He purchased it for €700. It had no papers and no keys. The interior reflected the 1980s. Velvet seats, improvised electronics, and 17 speakers wired into the car. Many would have rejected it. Arthur bought it without hesitation. Frank Lehman owns a turbocharged Capri producing around 200 horsepower. Back in the day, it was the cheapest way to experience real speed in Germany. Magazines called it a bargain, and fans described it as a weapon on wheels. Dirk owns a factory-built turbo Capri as well. Ford produced very few of them, making it extremely valuable today. Enthusiasts admire these cars because they represent raw power, simple mechanics, and a spirit of rebellion. Two of the most loyal owners are Walter and Mark. Walter bought his Capri in 1976, and Mark bought his in 1987. Both still own their cars today. Walter experienced a dramatic incident at a Capri meeting in Amsterdam when he accidentally drove into a canal. He escaped, but the car suffered heavy damage. He spent 2 years rebuilding it. Today, it runs with 330 horsepower. He has gone through more transmissions than birthdays, but he never gave up. Mark's connection to the Capri runs even deeper. His father picked him up from the hospital as a newborn in a Capri. Years later, when Mark was 17, his father helped him buy his own Capri. He still has Super 8 film of the day. He brought it home. For families like his, these cars are more than vehicles. They are memories passed down through generations. In another part of Germany, Theo turned a simple hobby into a lifelong career. He originally dug a pit in his garden so he could work beneath his car. Today, he runs a full restoration workshop together with his son. Capri models come to him from all over Europe. Some are barely roadworthy. Some are repaired with cement, stuffed with newspapers, or welded together in strange ways. Theo has seen every kind of condition. Where others see scrap, he sees potential. He's restored over 1,000 Capri, with some leaving his workshop in better condition than when they were new. Another important figure is Michael Herr, a collector who safeguards Capri history. His property is more like a car cemetery than a museum. More than 60 Capri are stored in a barn-like attic. He started collecting at a young age and never stopped. He admits it is no longer a plan, it is an obsession. Each car carries its own story. Father and son, Gregor and Lucas, own something extremely rare, a convertible Capri. Ford never produced a convertible version, but a builder named Karl Deutsch did. Fewer than 50 were handcrafted in Cologne. Their car once carried royalty during the 1972 Cologne Carnival. For years, they searched for proof of this history. One day, a television recording was found showing the white Capri in the parade. Finally, they had the confirmation they were looking for. The Capri's legacy also lives in motorsport. Dieter Glemser raced the legendary Tepi X RS, achieving 100 victories with it. This car was engineered for competition. Glemser raced alongside legendary drivers such as Stewart, Niki Lauda, and Jochen Mass. In 1973, during a race at the Nürburgring, his car failed and lifted into the air. He survived, but his racing career ended that day. Today, in his 80s, his eyes still light up whenever he sees a Capri. All these stories, Svenja's restoration, Theo's workshop, Glemser's racing achievements, share one thing in common. The Capri was never just a car. It became a movement and a symbol of freedom, personality, and individuality. Even decades after production ended, it remains alive. Not only in garages or trophies, but also in the hearts of those who drove it or grew up around it. Because once you have driven a Capri, you do not forget. The sound, the shape, and the spirit stay with you for life. If this story resonated with you, consider liking, subscribing, and staying with us for more. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.